Get out of this dining room! You two ruin every Christmas!" the stepmother yelled, pointing a manicured finger at the shivering twins. Little Maya grabbed her sister's hand tightly. She reached into her worn-out pocket and pulled out a golden locket they found hidden in the attic. "We aren't leaving," Maya said, her voice trembling but loud. "Not until Dad sees what's inside this." The entire table went silent as she opened it to reveal the shocking truth. But before we dive into the full story, let me know where you're watching from and what time it is. Now, subscribe to the channel and let's get started. If you make one sound tonight, I will send you so far away you will never see your father again. Victoria's voice cut through the cold attic air like a knife. Maya Harrison sat up in the small bed she shared with her twin sister, Mia. The morning light came through the one tiny window in the attic. It was December 24th, Christmas Eve. Victoria stood at the top of the attic stairs. She wore a white silk robe that cost more money than Maya could imagine. Her blonde hair was perfect. Her face was hard and angry like always. "Do you understand me?" Victoria said. "Yes," Maya whispered. Mia pulled the thin blanket up to her chin. She was shaking, but not from cold. She was scared. Maya reached under the blanket and found her sister's hand. She squeezed it. Victoria walked closer to their bed. Her expensive perfume filled the small attic room. "I have 50 guests coming tonight. Important people from Los Angeles. Rich people. People who matter. You two will stay locked in this attic. You will not make noise. You will not come downstairs. If you embarrass me in front of my guests, I will put you on a plane to boarding school in Alaska. You will live there in the freezing cold and you will never see your father again. Do you understand?" "Yes," Maya said again. Her voice was stronger this time. "Good." Victoria turned and walked back to the stairs. Her high heels made loud sounds on the wooden floor. She stopped at the top of the stairs and looked back at them. "Your father is at the office. He will come home for the party tonight. He does not want to hear about you causing problems. He has enough to worry about." Victoria went down the stairs. Maya heard the key turn in the lock. They were trapped. Mia started crying quietly. "I hate her." "I know," Maya said. She was 10 years old, but she felt much older. She had felt older ever since their real mother disappeared 3 years ago. Maya got out of bed. The attic was freezing. She walked to the small window and looked out. She could see Maple Drive below. Their mansion sat on the nicest street in Beverly Hills, California. Big palm trees lined the street. Expensive cars drove past. Everything looked beautiful outside. But inside this attic, everything was cold and sad. "Do you remember when Mom used to make us pancakes on Christmas morning?" Mia asked. She was still in bed, still crying. "Yes," Maya said. She did remember. Their mother Sarah used to wake them up early on Christmas. She would tickle their feet and laugh. They would run downstairs in their pajamas. The Christmas tree would have lights and presents underneath. Sarah would make chocolate chip pancakes shaped like stars. Their father Robert would drink coffee and smile. Everything was good then. But that was before. Before the rainy October night 3 years ago when their mother disappeared. Before the police came and asked questions. Before their father cried every day for months. Before Victoria showed up and became their stepmother 6 months later. Before their life turned into this nightmare. "Maya, do you think Mom is alive somewhere?" Mia asked. Maya did not answer right away. Victoria told them all the time that their mother left because she did not love them anymore. Victoria said Sarah got tired of being a mother and ran away to start a new life without them. Maya did not want to believe this, but 3 years was a long time. Why would their mother not come back if she was alive? "I don't know," Maya finally said. The hours passed slowly. Maya and Mia heard sounds from downstairs. People were arriving at the mansion. Caterers bringing food. Decorators hanging lights. Victoria shouting orders at everyone. The house was getting ready for the big Christmas Eve party. At 6 o'clock in the evening, Victoria brought them dinner. She unlocked the attic door and climbed the stairs. She carried one bowl of soup. The soup was cold. It looked gray and terrible. "This is your dinner," Victoria said. She put the bowl on the floor. "Share it, and remember what I said. One sound from you tonight and you are gone forever." She left and locked the door again. Maya and Mia shared the bowl of cold soup. It tasted like nothing. It did not fill their stomachs. They were still hungry when it was gone. At 8 o'clock, the party started. Maya and Mia could hear everything through the floor. Christmas music played loudly. People laughed and talked. Glasses clinked together. The smell of roasted turkey and fresh bread came up through the cracks in the floorboards. Maya's stomach hurt from hunger. "I want Mom," Mia whispered. Tears ran down her face. "I want our real Mom back. I want her to hold me and tell me everything will be okay." Maya felt something break inside her chest. She was tired of being strong. She was tired of pretending things would get better. She was tired of this attic and Victoria's cruelty and her father never being home to see the truth. "We will find out what happened to her," Maya said suddenly. "I promise you, Mia, we will find out the truth." "How?" Mia asked. "We are just kids. Nobody listens to kids." Maya did not have an answer. She walked around the small attic room. She had walked around this room 1,000 times in the past 2 years. She knew every inch of it. The slanted ceiling, the one small window, the old wooden floor. Then she saw something. Near the window, one of the floorboards looked different. It was slightly higher than the others. Maya had never noticed this before. She knelt down and touched the board. It moved under her fingers. It was loose. "Mia, come here," Maya said. Mia got out of bed and came over. "What is it?" Maya pulled on the loose board. It came up easily. Underneath was a dark, empty space, and in that space was a small metal box covered in dust. Maya's heart started beating fast. She reached down and pulled out the box. It was cold and heavy. The dust was thick. This box had been hidden for a long time. "Open it," Mia whispered. Maya's hands shook. She opened the lid slowly. Inside was a golden locket on a chain. The locket was covered in dust, too. Maya picked it up carefully. The chain was delicate and beautiful. "That's Mom's," Mia said. Her voice was shaking. "I remember it. She used to wear it all the time." Maya opened the locket. Inside was a tiny picture of their mother. Sarah's face smiled up at them from the photograph. Her eyes were warm and kind. Maya felt tears burn in her eyes. Behind the picture was something else. A piece of paper folded very small. Maya pulled out the paper and unfolded it carefully. The handwriting on it was their mother's handwriting. Maya would recognize it anywhere. She started to read. Maya's eyes moved across the words written in their mother's handwriting. Her hands shook so hard the paper made a small rattling sound. "What does it say?" Mia whispered. She moved closer to Maya until their shoulders touched. Maya read out loud. Her voice was quiet but clear. "My beloved daughters, if you find this, know that I never left you. Victoria discovered I knew about Robert's company secrets. She paid a man named Frank Delgado to kidnap me. I am being held at St. Mary's Hospital in San Francisco under the fake name Jane Morrison. They are giving me drugs to keep me confused. I hid this before they took me. Find your father. Show him this. I love you forever. Mom." The attic became completely silent. Maya read the note again. Then again. She needed to make sure the words were real. "She didn't leave us," Mia said. Her voice broke. "Maya, she didn't leave us." "No," Maya whispered. "She was taken." Mia started crying hard, not quiet tears like before, big sobs that shook her whole body. Maya held her sister tight. Maya wanted to cry too, but something else filled her chest. Anger, hot burning anger. Victoria was not just cruel. Victoria was a criminal. Victoria stole their mother. Victoria locked them in this attic and starved them and told them lies for 3 years. and their mother was alive. She was alive somewhere in San Francisco, suffering alone. "We have to tell Dad," Maya said. She pulled back from Mia and looked at her face. "We have to show him this note right now." "But Victoria said if we go downstairs she will send us away," Mia said. Her face was red from crying. "She said we would never see Dad again." "She lied about everything else," Maya said. "Why would that be true? And Mia, listen to me. Mom is in a hospital in San Francisco. They are giving her drugs. She has been there for 3 years. 3 years! We cannot wait one more night. We have to tell Dad now." Mia looked at the note again. She touched their mother's handwriting with one finger. "Okay, you're right. We have to try." Maya stood up and walked to the attic door. She pressed her ear against it. She could hear the party downstairs. Music and laughter and voices. 50 people were down there. Victoria was down there in her expensive red dress, acting like she was wonderful. Their father was down there greeting guests and smiling. "How do we get out?" Mia asked. "The door is locked." Maya smiled for the first time in a long time. "Mom taught us a trick, remember? 3 years ago before she disappeared. She showed us how to unlock this door from the inside." Mia's eyes went wide. "I forgot about that." "She said it was for emergencies," Maya said. "She said if we were ever locked in here and needed to get out, we could do it ourselves." Maya knelt down by the door. At the bottom, there was a tiny gap between the door and the floor. Maya reached under her bed and pulled out a wire hanger. Victoria gave them 3 hangers for their old clothes. Maya had been saving this one. She straightened the hanger and pushed it under the door. She moved it carefully until she felt it touch the key on the other side. The key Victoria used to lock them in was still in the lock. Maya pushed the hanger harder. She heard a small sound. The key fell out of the lock on the other side. It hit the floor outside the door. "Now what?" Mia asked. Maya took the piece of paper from her mother's note. She slid it under the door until it was on the other side. Then she used the hanger to pull the key onto the paper. She dragged the paper back under the door slowly. The key came with it. "Mom was smart," Maya whispered. She picked up the key and unlocked the door. The door opened. The sounds from downstairs became louder. Maya and Mia stood at the top of the attic stairs. Maya put the golden locket around her neck. She folded the note and put it in her pocket. She held out her hand to Mia. "We need a plan," Maya said. "We cannot just run down there screaming. Victoria will stop us before we reach Dad." "What should we do?" Mia asked. Maya thought hard. Downstairs, she heard a bell ring. That was the dinner bell. Victoria rang it when it was time for everyone to sit down and eat. "Everyone is sitting down for dinner now," Maya said. "They will all be in the dining room at the big table. We wait 5 minutes for them to get seated. Then we walk in together. We go straight to Dad's chair. Before Victoria can stop us, I will show him the locket. You stay right next to me. Do not let anyone separate us. Understand?" Mia nodded. "What do we say?" "I will show him the locket. I will read the note out loud so everyone hears it. Not just Dad, everyone at that table. That way Victoria cannot say we are lying. 50 people will hear the truth." "I am so scared," Mia whispered. "Me too," Maya said. "But Mom is more scared than us right now. She is locked in a hospital. She is alone. She has been alone for 3 years. We have to be brave for her." They waited at the top of the stairs. Maya counted the seconds in her head. She counted to 65 times, 5 minutes. Her heart beat so fast it hurt. Her hands were sweating. Her legs felt weak. "Okay," Maya finally said. "It is time." They walked down the first flight of stairs from the attic to the second floor. The second floor had bedrooms. Maya and Mia used to have their bedrooms here. Pink walls and soft beds and toys everywhere. Now Victoria used those rooms for storage and guest rooms. They walked past their old bedrooms and kept going down. The music and voices grew louder. They reached the first floor. The dining room was straight ahead. The doors were closed, but light came out from underneath them. Maya stopped walking. She looked at Mia. "Are you ready?" "No," Mia said. "But we are doing it anyway, right?" "Right," Maya said. Maya reached out and touched the dining room doors. She took a deep breath. Behind these doors were 50 wealthy people. Behind these doors was Victoria, who threatened to send them away forever. Behind these doors was their father, who had been blind for 3 years. But behind these doors was also the truth. And the truth was stronger than fear. Maya pushed the doors open. The dining room was huge and bright. A long table filled the center of the room. 50 people sat around it on expensive chairs. White plates and crystal glasses covered the table. Candles burned everywhere. A massive Christmas tree stood in the corner with lights and decorations. Everything looked beautiful and perfect. Every single person stopped talking. 50 faces turned to look at Maya and Mia standing in the doorway. Victoria sat at the head of the table in her red silk dress. Her face changed from surprise to rage in 1 second. Her pale blue eyes became like ice. She stood up so fast her chair fell backward. Her wine glass tipped over. Red wine spilled across the white tablecloth. "Get out!" Victoria screamed. Her voice was sharp and loud. "Get back upstairs right now!" Their father Robert sat near Victoria. He looked confused. He started to stand up. "Girls, what are you doing down here? I thought we agreed you would stay in your room tonight." "We did not agree," Maya said. Her voice came out stronger than she expected. "She locked us in the attic. She always locks us in the attic." Some people at the table whispered to each other. Victoria's face turned red. "Robert, these children are disrupted and disobedient. Make them leave immediately." But Maya was already moving. She ran toward her father's chair. Mia ran right behind her. Victoria tried to grab Maya's arm, but Maya was too fast. She reached her father and held up the golden locket so everyone could see it. "This was Mom's," Maya said loudly. "We found it hidden in the attic." Robert's face went white. He stared at the locket. Sarah's locket. I thought that was lost. Maya opened the locket. Inside was the tiny picture of their mother smiling. Mom hid it before she disappeared. There is a note inside. "They are lying!" Victoria shouted. "They probably stole that from somewhere. Robert, do not listen to them." But Maya had already pulled the note from her pocket. She unfolded it carefully. The paper was old and the handwriting was faded but still clear. Maya began to read out loud. "My beloved daughters, if you find this, know that I never left you." The dining room became silent. Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Maya kept reading. "Victoria discovered I knew about Robert's company secrets. She paid a man named Frank Delgado to kidnap me. I am being held at St. Mary's Hospital in San Francisco under the fake name Jane Morrison. They are giving me drugs to keep me confused. I hid this before they took me. Find your father. Show him this. I love you forever. Mom." Maya finished reading. She looked up at her father. Robert's hands were shaking. He reached out and took the note from Maya. He read it himself, once, twice, 3 times. His face became more white with each reading. Victoria laughed. But the sound was wrong, nervous and high. "This is ridiculous. Those girls wrote that themselves. They are disturbed children who never accepted me as their stepmother. They make up stories. They lie constantly." Robert looked up from the note. He stared at Victoria. How would they know about the company secrets? Victoria's smile disappeared. "What?" "The note mentions company secrets," Robert said slowly. 3 years ago, Sarah discovered illegal accounting in my company. I told you about it when we first met because I trusted you. Sarah wanted to report it to the government. Only 3 people knew about this. Me, Sarah, and you, Victoria. Robert stood up from his chair. His voice became harder. "So tell me, how would 2 10-year-old girls know about company secrets unless this note really was written by Sarah?" Victoria's mouth opened, but no words came out. Her face changed from red to white. She looked at Robert, then at the 50 guests watching her, then back at Robert. Sarah must have told them, Victoria finally said. Before she left, she must have talked about the company problems with the girls. Children hear things. Sarah disappeared 3 years ago, Robert said. His voice was cold. Maya and Mia were 7 years old. You think 7-year-old children would remember complex accounting fraud? You think they would even understand what that meant? Maya felt Mia grab her hand. The whole dining room was silent. Everyone was staring at Victoria. Some people had their phones out. Maya saw them holding the phones up. They were recording everything. "Robert, you are being ridiculous," Victoria said. She tried to smile, but her face looked wrong. "Those girls have always hated me. They want to destroy our marriage. This is just another one of their games." "Games," Maya said. The word came out loud and angry. "You locked us in the attic every day. You gave us almost no food. You told us our mother left because she did not love us. Those were not games." Several people at the table gasped. A woman in a blue dress put her hand over her mouth. A man whispered something to the person next to him. "You are lying!" Victoria shouted at Maya, her pretty face twisted with anger. "I treated you girls like my own daughters. You are ungrateful and disturbed." "Then explain the note," Robert said. He held up the paper. His hand shook, but his voice was strong. "Explain how this note mentions things only you knew about. Explain Frank Delgado." "Who is Frank Delgado, Victoria?" Victoria took a step backward. "I do not know anyone by that name." "You are lying," Mia said quietly. Everyone turned to look at her. Mia's voice was soft, but in the silent room everyone could hear it. "You lie about everything. You lied about loving us. You lied about our mother. You are lying right now." Victoria's eyes became cold and hard. She looked at the twins with pure hate. For 3 years she had hidden that look when other people were around. But now she did not hide it. Maya saw the real Victoria, the one who hurt them every day, the one who stole their mother. "I am not staying here to be accused by children," Victoria said. She started walking toward the dining room doors. "This is insane. I am calling my lawyer." Robert moved fast. He stepped in front of Victoria and grabbed her arm. "You are not going anywhere. We are waiting for the police." "The police?" Victoria tried to pull her arm free, but Robert held tight. "You are calling the police because of a note 2 disturbed children claim they found? You have lost your mind." "No," Robert said. "I think I finally found it again." He pulled his phone from his pocket with his free hand. He pressed 3 numbers. 911. He put the phone to his ear. Victoria's face changed again. She looked scared now. "Robert, please. Think about what you are doing. Think about your company. If the police come here and start investigating, everything will come out. All your secrets. You will go to prison." "I know," Robert said. "Yes, hello? I need police at 37 Maple Drive in Beverly Hills. I have information about a kidnapping." Victoria made a sound that was almost a scream. She yanked her arm hard and broke free from Robert's grip. She ran toward the dining room doors. Her high heels clicked loudly on the floor. 2 men at the table stood up fast. They moved to block the doors. Victoria crashed into them. "Get out of my way!" "Let the police sort this out, ma'am," one of the men said. He was tall and big. Victoria pushed against him, but he did not move. Victoria spun around. She looked trapped. Her perfect blonde hair was messy now. Her makeup was smeared. She looked at all the faces staring at her. "You are all idiots. Those children are playing you. That note is fake. Sarah left 3 years ago because she was weak and pathetic, just like her daughters. Don't talk about our mother," Maya said. She stepped forward. She was small and skinny and only 10 years old, but her voice was strong. "Our mother was brave. She was going to tell the truth about the company even though it was hard. You were scared of her. That is why you took her away." "I did not take anyone anywhere!" Victoria screamed. Then something happened that nobody expected. A man at the far end of the table stood up. He was Asian with gray hair and glasses. He wore a dark suit. Maya had never seen him before. "Excuse me," the man said. His voice was calm and clear. "My name is Dr. James Chen. I work at St. Mary's Hospital in San Francisco." The room became even more quiet, if that was possible. Everyone turned to look at Dr. Chen. Victoria's face went completely white. "I apologize for interrupting," Dr. Chen continued, "but I heard the young girl read that note. She mentioned St. Mary's Hospital. She mentioned a patient named Jane Morrison." "So what?" Victoria said. Her voice was high and shaky. "That is a common name. There are probably hundreds of Jane Morrisons in California." "Perhaps," Dr. Chen said, "but we do have a patient named Jane Morrison in our psychiatric wing. She has been there for approximately 3 years. A man pays her hospital bills in cash every month. We never met him. He sends the money through the mail." Maya felt her heart beat so hard she thought it would break through her chest. She looked at Mia. Mia was crying again, but this time the tears looked different. They looked like hope. "What does she look like?" Robert asked. He walked toward Dr. Chen. "This patient, Jane Morrison, what does she look like?" Dr. Chen pulled out his phone. "I cannot share patient information normally, but given the circumstances, let me call my hospital. We can check if there is any resemblance to the woman in that photograph." He opened the locket Maya still held in her hand. He looked at the tiny picture of Sarah. Then he walked out of the dining room into the hallway. Everyone could hear him talking on the phone, but his words were too quiet to understand. The dining room erupted in noise. Everyone started talking at once. People were asking questions. People were taking pictures. Victoria stood frozen by the doors. The 2 men still blocked her way out. "This is insane," Victoria kept saying. "This is completely insane." Robert knelt down in front of Maya and Mia. He looked at their faces. His eyes were full of tears. "I am sorry," he whispered. "I am so sorry. I should have seen it. I should have protected you." Maya did not know what to say. She was angry at her father. She had been angry at him for 3 years. He was never home. He never saw how Victoria treated them. He chose work over his daughters. But right now he looked broken. He looked like he finally understood what he had done wrong. "Is Mom really alive?" Mia asked. "Is she really in San Francisco?" "I don't know," Robert said. "But we are going to find out. I promise you. Whatever the truth is, we are going to find it." Dr. Chen walked back into the dining room. Everyone stopped talking. The room became silent again. Dr. Chen's face was serious and hard to read. He walked straight to Robert. "I spoke to the head nurse in our psychiatric wing. I described the woman in this photograph." He paused. "She confirmed that Jane Morrison looks exactly like this woman. Same face, same eyes, same dark brown hair, though it is cut short now." Maya heard Mia make a small crying sound. Robert closed his eyes. His whole body shook. "Where is she?" Robert asked. His voice broke. "Can we see her?" "The hospital is putting her in protective custody immediately," Dr. Chen said. "If what this note says is true, if she really was kidnapped and held against her will, then she is no longer a psychiatric patient. She is a victim. The hospital is calling the San Francisco police right now." Victoria made a run for it. She pushed past the 2 men blocking the doors. She was fast in her high heels. She got through the doors and into the hallway. Maya heard her footsteps running toward the front entrance. But then Maya heard sirens outside. Red and blue lights flashed through the windows. The police had arrived. Victoria's footsteps stopped. Then they came back slowly. Victoria appeared in the doorway again. Her face was empty now. All the anger and fear were gone. She just looked tired. 2 police officers walked into the dining room behind her. They were both tall and wore dark blue uniforms. One was a woman with her hair pulled back. One was a man with a thick mustache. "I am Officer Patricia Ramirez," the woman said. Someone called about a kidnapping? Robert stood up. He still held the note in his hand. My name is Robert Harrison. This is my house. 3 years ago, my wife Sarah disappeared. Tonight, my daughters found this note hidden in our attic. The note says my wife was kidnapped and is being held at St. Mary's Hospital in San Francisco under a false name. He handed the note to Officer Ramirez. She read it carefully. The other officer read it over her shoulder. This is a serious accusation, Officer Ramirez said. She looked at Victoria. Ma'am, what is your name? Victoria Harrison, Victoria said quietly. I am Robert's wife. His current wife, Maya said. Sarah is his real wife. Victoria came after Mom disappeared. Officer Ramirez looked at Dr. Chen. Sir, you said you work at St. Mary's Hospital? Yes, Dr. Chen said. I just confirmed with my hospital that we have a patient matching Sarah Harrison's description. She has been in our psychiatric wing for 3 years under the name Jane Morrison. Someone has been paying her bills in cash. The male officer pulled out his handcuffs. Ma'am, we need you to come to the station for questioning. No, Victoria said. I want my lawyer. I am not saying anything without my lawyer. You can call your lawyer from the station, Officer Ramirez said. Right now we are detaining you in connection with a possible kidnapping. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. Victoria started screaming. This is wrong. You cannot arrest me based on a note written by children. This is America. I have rights. But the male officer already had the handcuffs on her wrists. The metal clicked shut. Victoria tried to pull away, but the officer held her firmly. You tried to take our mother from us forever, Mia said. She walked up to Victoria and looked her straight in the eyes. But love is stronger than your hate. Officer Ramirez looked at Mia with respect. Then she and her partner led Victoria toward the front door. Victoria was still screaming. All 50 dinner guests watched her go. Some people were crying. Some were still recording on their phones. Robert pulled Maya and Mia close to him. Get your coats, he said. We are driving to San Francisco right now. The dinner guests began leaving quickly. Some stopped to talk to Robert first. They said they were sorry. They said they hoped Sarah would be okay. Others just wanted to leave. They walked out fast without saying anything. Within 1 hour, the mansion was empty. Maya and Mia stood in the huge dining room. The table was still full of food nobody had eaten. Candles still burned. The Christmas tree lights blinked on and off. Everything looked pretty and perfect. But it all felt wrong now. Robert knelt down in front of his daughters. He looked at their faces for a long time. His eyes were red. He had been crying. Maya had not seen her father cry since the first months after their mother disappeared. I need to say something, Robert said. His voice was thick. I failed you. Both of you. I should have seen what Victoria was doing. I should have protected you. I was so busy with work. I was so afraid of my own problems that I did not see yours. I am sorry. I know sorry is not enough. But I am so sorry. Mia started crying again. She threw her arms around her father's neck. You believe us now. That is what matters. Robert held Mia tight. He looked at Maya over Mia's shoulder. Maya stood still. She did not hug him. She felt angry and sad and confused all at the same time. Her father should have seen the truth years ago. He should have been home more. He should have asked them questions. He should have looked in their eyes and seen the pain there. But he was here now, and they needed him to drive them to San Francisco. We need to go, Maya said. Mom is waiting. Robert nodded. He stood up and wiped his eyes. Yes, go get your coats. Get anything else you need. We are leaving in 5 minutes. Maya and Mia ran upstairs to the attic. They grabbed their old coats from the small closet. Maya took the golden locket from around her neck and put it carefully in her pocket. Mia grabbed a small stuffed bear from the bed. Their mother had given her that bear when she was 5 years old. It was the only toy Victoria had not thrown away. They ran back downstairs. Robert was in the kitchen talking on his phone. "Yes, we are driving there now. We should arrive around 4 in the morning, thank you. Yes, I understand." He hung up. "That was my lawyer. He is meeting us at the hospital. Dr. Chen already drove back to San Francisco. He is making sure your mother is safe and comfortable." They walked out to the garage. Robert's black car sat in the first space. Next to it was the empty space where their mother's car used to be. Victoria had sold that car 2 years ago, said they did not need it. Maya remembered her mother's car. It was blue and always smelled like vanilla. They got in Robert's car. Maya and Mia sat in the back seat. Robert started the engine. He looked at them in the rearview mirror. "Buckle your seatbelts." They drove out of the garage and down Maple Drive. Maya looked back at the mansion. All the windows were dark now except for the Christmas tree lights still blinking in the dining room window. She wondered if she would ever live in that house again. She wondered if she even wanted to. Robert drove to the highway. He headed north toward San Francisco. The clock on the dashboard said it was 10 o'clock at night. Christmas Eve was almost over. In 2 hours, it would be Christmas Day. "How far is San Francisco?" Mia asked. "About 380 miles, Robert said. "It will take us about 6 hours if traffic is good, maybe longer." "So we will get there at 4 in the morning?" "Around then, yes." The highway was mostly empty. Some cars passed them going south. Big trucks drove slowly in the right lane. Robert drove fast, but not too fast. Maya watched the white lines on the road appear and disappear under the car. After about 30 minutes, rain started falling. Small drops at first, then bigger ones. Soon the rain was coming down hard. The windshield wipers moved back and forth, making squeaking sounds. "It is raining," Mia said quietly, "just like the night Mom disappeared." Robert's hands tightened on the steering wheel. "Yes." Maya remembered that night 3 years ago. She and Mia had been in bed. They heard their parents arguing downstairs, not yelling, just talking in serious voices. Then they heard the garage door open, then nothing. In the morning, their father told them their mother was gone. She had left in the night. The police came later that day. They asked questions. They searched the house. They never found anything. Now Maya knew the truth. Their mother had not left in her car. Someone had taken her. Frank Delgado. Victoria had paid him to kidnap their mother. But how? How did he get into the garage? How did he take their mother without anyone hearing? "Dad," Maya said, "what were you and Mom arguing about the night she disappeared?" Robert was quiet for a long time. The rain pounded on the roof of the car. The wipers kept moving back and forth. "The company," Robert finally said. "Your mother found out I'd been doing illegal things at my company, lying to investors, hiding money, breaking laws. She said I had to turn myself in to the police. I said I needed more time. I was scared. If I went to the police, I would lose everything. The company, the money. I might go to prison." "So you fought?" Maya said. "We fought," Robert agreed. "Your mother said she would give me 1 month. If I did not turn myself in by then, she would report me herself. She said our family was built on lies and she could not live with that anymore." "What did you say?" Mia asked. "I said she was being selfish. I said she was not thinking about you girls, about what would happen to you if I went to prison." Robert's voice cracked. "I said terrible things to her, and then she went out to the garage. I thought she was just getting some air, cooling off. I waited for her to come back inside, but she never did." Maya felt tears on her face. She wiped them away quickly. "You should have told the truth from the beginning." "I know," Robert said. "You are right. I should have been honest. If I had just told the truth 3 years ago, none of this would have happened. Victoria would never have had power over me. Your mother would never have been taken. You girls would not have suffered for 3 years. This is all my fault." "It is Victoria's fault," Mia said. "She is the one who took Mom." "But I created the situation that allowed it to happen," Robert said. "I was weak. I was a coward. I still am. But I am going to fix it now. I am going to turn myself in. I am going to tell the police everything. I am going to pay back every dollar I stole, and I am going to accept whatever punishment comes." They drove in silence for a while. Maya watched small towns pass by outside. Gas stations and fast food restaurants and motels. Everything was closed for Christmas Eve. The roads were empty. "Will you go to prison?" Mia asked. "Probably," Robert said. "Yes, I broke the law. I deserve to go to prison." "For how long?" "I don't know. Maybe 2 years, maybe 5, maybe more. It depends on what the judge decides." Mia started crying softly. "But we just got you back. I don't want you to go away too." Robert's voice was thick with tears. "I know, sweetheart, I know. But this is the right thing to do. Your mother tried to teach me that 3 years ago. She tried to show me that truth matters more than money. I did not listen. I am listening now." Maya said nothing. She looked out the window at the rain. Part of her was still angry at her father. He had made so many wrong choices. He had cared more about his company than his family. But another part of her understood. People made mistakes, big, terrible mistakes. The question was what they did after the mistakes. Did they keep lying? Or did they finally tell the truth even when it hurt? Her father was choosing truth now. That was something. They passed a sign that said San Francisco was 190 miles away. About 3 more hours. Maya felt her stomach tighten. In 3 hours, she would see her mother. After 3 years. What would her mother look like? Would she be the same? Would she still smell like vanilla? Would she remember Maya and Mia? "What if she doesn't remember us?" Maya said suddenly. Robert looked at her in the rearview mirror. "What?" "The note said they are giving her drugs. What if the drugs made her forget? What if she does not know who we are?" "She will remember you," Robert said firmly. "A mother never forgets her children, never." "How do you know?" Maya asked. "Because even if her mind forgot, her heart would remember," Robert said. "When she sees you, she will know, I promise." Maya wanted to believe him. She held the golden locket in her pocket. She felt the shape of it against her fingers. Her mother had hidden this locket 3 years ago. She had written a note to her daughters. She had believed they would find it someday. She had faith even when everything was dark. Maya needed to have faith too. The rain kept falling. The car kept driving north. Christmas Day arrived at midnight. Mia fell asleep against Maya's shoulder. Maya stayed awake watching the road, watching the miles count down, watching them get closer and closer to San Francisco. At 3:30 in the morning, they saw the lights of the city ahead. Tall buildings rose up against the dark sky. The Golden Gate Bridge appeared in the distance with its red towers and lights. "Almost there," Robert said quietly. Maya's heart started beating faster. She shook Mia awake. "We are in San Francisco." Mia sat up and rubbed her eyes. She looked out the window at the city lights. "Are we going straight to the hospital?" "Yes," Robert said. "Doctor." Chen said he would meet us there. He drove through the city streets. Everything was quiet and empty. It was 4 in the morning on Christmas Day. Everyone was home asleep. Robert followed the directions on his phone. Turn left, turn right, go straight. Finally, they pulled up in front of a large white building. A sign out front said, St. Mary's Hospital. Lights burned in windows on every floor. An ambulance sat parked near the emergency entrance. Robert turned off the car. They all sat there for a moment in silence. "Whatever happens in there," Robert said, "we face it together, as a family. Understood?" "Understood," Mia whispered. Maya nodded. She opened her car door. The rain had stopped, but the air was cold and wet. They walked toward the hospital entrance. Maya saw a man standing by the door. He wore a dark suit and had gray hair and glasses. It was Dr. Chen. His face was serious and tired. He walked toward them. Maya felt her whole body tense. Something about his expression scared her. "Mr. Harrison," Dr. Chen said. Thank you for driving through the night. Where is my wife? Robert asked. Where is Sarah? Dr. Chen looked at Maya and Mia, then back at Robert. She is awake. She is on the 4th floor in the psychiatric wing. She has been asking for her daughters non-stop since we told her they were coming. He paused. But I need to prepare you. 3 years of psychiatric drugs have taken a toll. She is very thin, very weak. She sometimes gets confused about what day it is, what year it is. The doctors are working to clear the drugs from her system, but it will take time. Can we see her? Mia asked. Please? Dr. Chen smiled. It was a kind smile. Yes, follow me. They walked through the hospital's front doors into a bright white lobby. Everything smelled clean and strong, medicine and soap and something else Maya could not name. A woman sat behind a desk near the entrance. She looked up at them and nodded at Dr. Chen. Good morning, Dr. Chen, she said. Good morning, Patricia, Dr. Chen said. These are the family members I told you about. The woman looked at Maya and Mia with soft eyes. Welcome. I hope you find what you are looking for. Dr. Chen led them down a long hallway. Their footsteps echoed on the shiny floor. Maya held Mia's hand tight. Robert walked beside them. His face looked pale and scared. Maya had never seen her father look scared before. They reached a row of elevators. Dr. Chen pushed the button. The doors opened immediately. They stepped inside. Dr. Chen pressed the button for floor 4. The doors closed. Maya watched the numbers light up above the door. 1, 2, 3, 4. The elevator stopped. The doors opened. This is the psychiatric wing, Dr. Chen said quietly. The patients here need special care. Please stay close to me. They stepped out into another hallway. This one had locked doors on both sides. Small windows in the doors let you see inside the rooms. Maya tried not to look, but she saw glimpses. A man sitting on a bed staring at the wall. A woman pacing back and forth. Another person sleeping. Is Mom locked in a room like this? Mia whispered. She was, Dr. Chen said. For 3 years the hospital believed she was mentally ill. She kept saying she had been kidnapped. She kept saying she had twin daughters. She kept giving a different name than Jane Morrison. The doctors thought these were delusions, symptoms of her illness. But she was telling the truth, Maya said. Yes, Dr. Chen said. She was telling the truth the whole time. Nobody listened. I am ashamed to say I was one of the doctors who did not listen. I saw her many times over the years. She seemed confused because of the medication. I thought the medication was helping her. I did not realize it was being used to keep her quiet. They walked past a nurse's station. 2 nurses looked up. One was young with red hair, one was older with gray hair pulled back in a bun. The older nurse stood up. Dr. Chen, is this the family? She asked. Yes, Nancy, this is Robert Harrison and his daughters Maya and Mia. The nurse named Nancy smiled at the twins, but her eyes looked sad. Your mother is a fighter. She never stopped talking about you girls. Even when the medication made her very sleepy, she would whisper your names, Maya and Mia, over and over. Maya felt tears burn in her eyes. She blinked them away fast. Dr. Chen led them further down the hallway. He stopped in front of a door. The number on it said 447. Through the small window, Maya could see a bed and a chair, but she could not see a person. She is in here, Dr. Chen said. Take your time. I will wait out here. Robert reached for the door handle. His hand shook badly. He pulled it back and pressed both hands together to stop the shaking. Then he reached out again. This time he turned the handle. The door opened. The room was small. White walls, white floor, white ceiling. One small window looked out at the city. The sun was starting to come up. Pink and orange light filled the sky. A woman sat in the chair by the window with her back to them. She wore light blue hospital clothes. Her hair was dark brown but cut very short. She sat very still, looking out at the sunrise. "Sarah?" Robert said. His voice was so quiet Maya could barely hear it. The woman in the chair became completely still. Then slowly, very slowly, she turned around. Maya saw her mother's face for the first time in 3 years. She looked different. So different. Her face was thin with sharp cheekbones. Dark circles sat under her eyes. Her skin was pale. She looked older than Maya remembered. But her eyes were the same, brown with little flecks of green, the same eyes Maya saw in the mirror every day. Sarah stared at them. Her mouth opened, but no sound came out. She looked at Robert, then at Maya, then at Mia, then back at Maya. Tears started running down her face. "My babies," Sarah whispered. "My babies, you are real. You are here. You found me." She tried to stand up, but her legs were shaky. She grabbed the chair to steady herself. Robert started to move toward her, but Maya was faster. She ran across the small room. Mia ran right beside her. They reached their mother at the same time. Sarah dropped to her knees. She pulled both girls into her arms. She held them so tight Maya could barely breathe. Sarah was crying hard. Her whole body shook with sobs. "Maya, Mia, my beautiful girls, my brave, beautiful girls. I knew you would find me. I knew it. I never stopped believing. Never." She pulled back and looked at their faces. She touched Maya's cheek. She touched Mia's hair. She kept touching them over and over. "You are so big," Sarah said. Her voice broke. "You were 7 years old. Now you are 10. I missed 3 years. 3 whole years of your lives. Your birthdays. Your first days of school. Everything." "We missed you too, Mom," Mia said. She was crying so hard she could barely talk. "We missed you every single day." "Victoria told us you left," Maya said. "She said you did not love us anymore, but I did not believe her. I knew something was wrong. I knew you would not leave us." Sarah pulled them close again. "Never. I would never leave you, not in a million years. I love you more than anything in the world." Robert stood a few feet away. He was crying too. Sarah looked up at him. Her face changed. The soft love she showed the twins disappeared. Her face became harder. "How long did you know?" Sarah asked. Her voice was cold. "I didn't," Robert said. "I swear, Sarah, I did not know Victoria did this. I only found out tonight when the girls showed me your note." "But you knew she was hurting them," Sarah said. "You knew she was cruel to our daughters. Don't tell me you did not see it." Robert's face crumbled. "I didn't see it because I did not want to see it. I was traveling. I was working. I was hiding from the truth. You are right. I failed them. I failed you. I failed everyone." Sarah stared at him for a long moment. "You married her. You married the woman who took me away from my children." "I know," Robert whispered. "I am so sorry. I was lost. I was grieving. I was scared of my own crimes coming out. She seemed kind at first. By the time I realized something was wrong, I was in too deep. I kept telling myself I was imagining things, that the girls were just having trouble adjusting. I made every wrong choice, every single one." Sarah looked back at Maya and Mia. She touched their faces again. "Did she hurt you? Did Victoria hurt you physically?" "No," Maya said. "She never hit us. But she locked us in the attic. She barely fed us. She told us terrible things. She made us feel worthless." Sarah closed her eyes. New tears ran down her face. "I am so sorry. I tried to protect you. That is why I hid the note. I was afraid Victoria would succeed. I was afraid she would keep me here forever and you would never know the truth." "But we found it," Mia said. "We found the locket. We found your note. And we came to get you." Sarah smiled. It was a real smile. The first real smile Maya had seen in 3 years. "You saved me. My 10-year-old daughters saved me when all the adults failed. You are the bravest people I know." Dr. Chen knocked softly on the door and opened it. "I am sorry to interrupt, but I need to examine Sarah." The medication is leaving her system, but we need to monitor her carefully. Make sure there is no permanent damage." "Permanent damage?" Robert said. His face went white. "What kind of permanent damage?" "The drugs they gave her were very strong," Dr. Chen said. "They were meant to keep psychiatric patients calm, but Sarah is not mentally ill. These drugs were used on her for 3 years straight. They can affect memory, cognitive function, physical coordination. We need to run tests." Sarah gripped Maya and Mia's hands. "I am not letting go of my daughters." "You can hold their hands while I examine you," Dr. Chen said gently. "They can stay right here with you." Over the next hour, Dr. Chen checked Sarah's vital signs. He asked her questions. "What year is it? Who is the president? Can you count backward from 100? Sarah answered everything correctly. Her voice was quiet and sometimes she paused to think. But she got every answer right. More doctors came. They drew blood. They checked her reflexes. They shined lights in her eyes. Sarah held Maya and Mia's hands through all of it. She would not let go. Finally, the doctors left. Dr. Chen smiled. "The preliminary tests look good. Better than I expected. Sarah, you are remarkably strong. Your body is processing the medication well. Your mind is clear. With rest and proper nutrition, I believe you will make a full recovery." Sarah started crying again. "Thank God. Thank God. I was so afraid the drugs had destroyed my brain, that I would never be myself again." Robert stepped closer. "Sarah, I need to tell you something. The police arrested Victoria tonight. She is in custody. But Dr. Chen told me that someone has been paying your hospital bills. A man named Frank Delgado. The police are looking for him, but they have not found him yet." Sarah's face went pale. "Frank. He is the one who kidnapped me. He grabbed me in the garage that night. He put something over my face, some kind of cloth with chemicals on it. When I woke up, I was here, in this hospital. Frank came to visit me once a month. He told me if I caused problems, he would hurt you girls. He showed me pictures of you at school, at the park. He said he was watching you, that he could get to you anytime, so I stopped fighting. I took the medication they gave me. I pretended to be confused. I did whatever they told me, because I was terrified he would hurt you." Maya felt cold fear run through her body. "He was watching us?" "I don't know if he really was," Sarah said, "or if he was just scaring me. But I could not take that chance. I could not risk your safety." "The police will find him," Robert said. "They have his name now. They know what he did. He cannot hide forever." Dr. Chen's face was serious. "Until they find him, your family may not be safe. Frank Delgado was paid $50,000 to kidnap Sarah and keep her hidden. People who do things for that much money are dangerous. He knows his crimes are exposed now. He might run, but he might also try to eliminate witnesses." Robert pulled out his phone. "I am calling the police right now. I am telling them we need protection." Sarah pulled Maya and Mia close. "Nobody is taking you away from me again. Nobody. I will fight anyone who tries." Maya looked at her mother's face. Sarah looked weak and tired and thin, but her eyes were fierce. Her mother was a fighter. She had survived 3 years of imprisonment and drugs and loneliness. She had never given up. She had never stopped hoping. Maya squeezed her mother's hand. "We will fight together. All of us." Through the window, the sun rose higher over San Francisco. Christmas Day was beginning. But outside this hospital room, somewhere in the city, a dangerous man named Frank Delgado was still free. Robert spoke quickly into his phone. "Yes, this is Robert Harrison. My wife was held at St. Mary's Hospital for 3 years. The man who kidnapped her is named Frank Delgado. He is still out there. We need protection for my family." Maya could hear a voice on the other end but could not make out the words. Robert listened and nodded. "Yes, we are at the hospital now. Room 447, 4th floor. Okay, thank you." He hung up and looked at Sarah. "The police are sending officers to the hospital. They will be here in 15 minutes. They are also putting out an alert for Frank Delgado. Every police officer in California will be looking for him. Sarah pulled Maya and Mia closer to her. 15 minutes. What if he comes before then? He does not know we found you, Robert said. He thinks you are still hidden here as Jane Morrison. He has no reason to come today. Unless Victoria contacted him, Sarah said. If she got arrested last night, she might have warned him, told him to run, or told him to finish what he started. Dr. Chen moved to the door. I will station security outside this room. Nobody gets in without my permission. He left quickly. Maya heard him talking to someone in the hallway. Then she heard footsteps. Heavy footsteps moving fast. Maya's heart started pounding. What if it was Frank? What if he was coming right now? The door opened. Maya grabbed her mother's arm, but it was just Dr. Chen. Behind him stood two large men in blue security uniforms. These officers will stand outside your door, Dr. Chen said. Nobody enters this room unless I approve it. Thank you, Sarah said. Her voice shook. They waited. Sarah held Maya and Mia on either side of her. Robert stood by the door watching through the small window. The minutes felt like hours. Maya counted seconds in her head. She got to 900 before she heard new sounds in the hallway. Robert opened the door. Two police officers walked in. One was the same woman from last night, Officer Patricia Ramirez. The other was a different man, younger with short blonde hair. Mr. Harrison, Officer Ramirez said, this is Officer Mike Stevens. We are here to protect your family and get more information about Frank Delgado. Sarah stood up slowly. She still looked weak, but she forced herself to stand straight. I can tell you about Frank. I can tell you everything. Officer Ramirez pulled out a notebook. Please, any information helps. Sarah described Frank Delgado. He was around 40 years old, tall, heavy build, dark hair and dark eyes. He had a tattoo on his left arm, a snake wrapped around a dagger. He spoke with an accent. Sarah thought maybe he was from Mexico or Central America. He always wore black clothes, black jeans, black jacket, black boots. He came to visit me once a month, Sarah said. Always on the 3rd of the month. He would check that I was taking my medication. He would ask the nurses questions about me. He always paid the hospital bills in cash. $1,500 every month. Officer Stevens wrote everything down. Did he ever tell you where he lived? Where he worked? Anything about his personal life? No, Sarah said. He barely talked to me, just threatened me, showed me pictures of my daughters, told me to stay quiet or he would hurt them. Did you ever see his car? Officer Ramirez asked. Sarah closed her eyes, thinking. Yes, once I saw him through my window. He drove a dark green truck, old, rusty. I could not see the license plate. That helps, Officer Ramirez said. We will add that to the alert. Officer Stevens's phone rang. He answered it and walked to the corner of the room. He talked quietly for a minute. Then he came back. His face looked serious. That was the Oakland Police Department, he said. They just raided an apartment connected to Frank Delgado. He is not there, but they found evidence. A lot of evidence. What kind of evidence? Robert asked. Cash, $50,000 hidden under the bed, pictures of Sarah, pictures of your daughters, maps with your home address marked, hospital bills from St. Mary's, and a burner phone with text messages to Victoria Harrison. Maya felt sick. Frank had pictures of them. He had been watching them. All those times Maya thought she saw someone across the street from their school. All those times she felt like someone was following them. She had not been imagining it. Did the text messages say anything important? Robert asked. Officer Stevens nodded. Victoria texted Frank at 11:30 last night, after she was arrested. The message said, "They know. Get rid of evidence and disappear." Frank texted back, "What about the woman?" Victoria replied, "Leave her. Save yourself." Sarah let out a long breath. So he is running. He is not coming after us. We don't know that for sure, Officer Ramirez said, but it seems likely. We have officers searching for him at bus stations, train stations, and the airport. We will find him." They did. The next day, December 26th, Maya was sitting in her mother's hospital room eating breakfast when Officer Ramirez came back. She was smiling. "We got him," she said. "Oakland police found Frank Delgado trying to board a bus to Mexico. He had a fake passport and $50,000 in a backpack. He is in custody now." Sarah started crying. But these were different tears. Happy tears, relief tears. Thank God he cannot hurt anyone anymore. He is confessing everything. Officer Ramirez continued. "He wants a deal. He is willing to testify against Victoria Harrison in exchange for a reduced sentence. He admitted Victoria paid him $50,000 to kidnap you and keep you hidden. He provided dates, times, details. With his testimony, we have a very strong case against Victoria." Over the next 3 months, things happened fast. Victoria's lawyer tried to get her released on bail. The judge said no. Too dangerous. Too much evidence. Victoria stayed in jail waiting for trial. Robert hired a lawyer for Sarah. The lawyer helped her get officially released from the hospital. Sarah was not Jane Morrison. She was Sarah Harrison, a victim of kidnapping, not a psychiatric patient. Sarah came home to the mansion on Maple Drive. Maya and Mia took her straight to their attic room. They showed her where they had been sleeping for 3 years. Sarah looked at the cold, small space, the one thin blanket, the tiny window. She sat on the bed and cried for a long time. "I am so sorry," she kept saying. "I am so sorry you lived like this." "It is not your fault," Mia said. "Victoria did this. Not you." Sarah spent the next week throwing away everything Victoria owned. Every dress, every pair of shoes, every piece of jewelry. She donated it all. She did not want Victoria's things in the house. Then she redecorated Maya and Mia's old bedrooms. She painted the walls pink. She bought new beds and new toys and new clothes. She hung up pictures of their family from before everything went wrong. She made the rooms look exactly how they used to be. Maya walked into her new bedroom and almost cried. It felt like going back in time, like the past 3 years had not happened, but they had happened. And Maya knew she was different now. She could not go back to being a little girl who thought the world was safe. In March, Victoria's trial began. It was held at the Los Angeles County Courthouse, a huge building with white columns and marble floors. Maya and Mia went with their parents. They sat in the front row behind the prosecutor's table. Victoria was brought in wearing an orange jumpsuit. Her blonde hair was not perfect anymore. Her makeup was gone. She looked older and harder. She did not look at Maya and Mia. She stared straight ahead with empty eyes. The trial lasted 5 days. The prosecutor presented evidence. The notes Sarah had hidden, Frank Delgado's testimony, the text messages, the $50,000, the hospital records, everything. Victoria's lawyer tried to argue she was innocent, that Frank acted alone, that Victoria knew nothing about the kidnapping. But nobody believed it. The evidence was too strong. Frank Delgado testified on the 3rd day. He walked into the courtroom in handcuffs. He looked scared. He told the jury everything, how Victoria contacted him through a friend, how she offered him $50,000, how she gave him details about the garage and Sarah's schedule, how he kidnapped Sarah and drove her to the hospital, how he paid the bills every month and threatened Sarah to keep her quiet. "Why did you do it?" the prosecutor asked. "For the money," Frank said. His voice was quiet. "I needed money. I did not think about the family. I did not think about the children. I only thought about myself. I was wrong. I am sorry." Victoria's lawyer asked Frank questions. "Did Victoria specifically tell you to kidnap Sarah Harrison?" "Yes," Frank said. "She used the word kidnap?" "She said to take Sarah and hide her somewhere she could never be found. Those were her exact words." On the 5th day, the jury left to make their decision. They came back 3 hours later. The judge asked them if they had reached a verdict. "We have, Your Honor," the jury foreman said. He was an older man with gray hair. "On the charge of kidnapping, how do you find the defendant?" Guilty. On the charge of conspiracy? Guilty. On the charge of fraud? Guilty. The courtroom erupted in noise. People were talking. Some were clapping. The judge banged his gavel. "Order! Order in this courtroom!" Victoria stood up. Her face was red. "This is not fair! You cannot do this to me! I have rights!" "Sit down, Ms. Harrison," the judge said. "No, this is wrong. Those children are liars. That man is a liar. You are all idiots." Two guards grabbed Victoria's arms. She struggled and screamed. They had to drag her out of the courtroom. Her voice echoed down the hallway even after the doors closed. The judge looked tired. "Sentencing will be held in 2 weeks." 2 weeks later, they went back to the courthouse. The judge sat behind his high desk. Victoria stood in front of him. She looked calm now, cold and calm. "Victoria Harrison," the judge said, "you have been found guilty of kidnapping, conspiracy, and fraud. These are serious crimes. You destroyed a family. You kept a mother from her children for 3 years. You showed no remorse, no empathy, no regret. I am sentencing you to 25 years in state prison." Victoria's face did not change. She just nodded once. Maya waited to feel happy. Victoria was going to prison for 25 years. Justice had been served. But Maya did not feel happy. She just felt tired. So tired. Outside the courthouse, reporters pushed microphones at them. "How do you girls feel about the verdict?" Maya looked at the camera. "Bad people sometimes win for a while, but truth always comes eventually. Always." That same day, Robert met with government investigators. He told them everything about his company, the illegal accounting, the false reports, the hidden money. He gave them every document they asked for. "I am closing Harrison Tech Industries," Robert told the investigators, "and I am paying back every dollar that was stolen." It took 2 months to close the company and calculate the money. Robert paid back $6 million. Everything he had. The mansion had to be sold. The cars had to be sold. Everything. Then Robert's own trial happened. It was much shorter than Victoria's. Robert pleaded guilty to all charges. He did not fight. He stood in front of the judge and said, "I am guilty. I broke the law. I deserve punishment." The judge looked at all the evidence. He looked at how Robert cooperated, how he paid the money back, how he closed his company. "Mr. Harrison, you committed serious crimes, but you have taken responsibility. You have made restitution. I am sentencing you to 2 years in minimum security prison." Robert nodded. "Thank you, Your Honor." Maya sat between her mother and Mia. 2 years. Her father would be gone for 2 years. They had just gotten their family back. And now he was leaving again. That night, Robert made dinner for them at the mansion. It was their last night there. The house had been sold. They were moving to San Diego the next week. Sarah had found a small house near the beach, a new start. Robert looked at his daughters. "I know you are angry at me. You have every right to be." 2 years is not enough, Maya said. The words came out hard and cold. 2 years is not enough punishment for letting Victoria hurt us for 3 years. Robert's face crumbled. "You are right. You are absolutely right." "But you are trying," Mia said quietly. "You are trying to make things right. That counts for something." Maya looked at her sister, then at her father, then at her mother. They were all broken in different ways, but they were together, and maybe that was enough for now. Robert drove away the next morning to begin his sentence. Maya watched from the window as his car disappeared down Maple Drive. Her mother put an arm around her shoulders. "The hardest part is finally over," Sarah said softly. But Maya was not sure that was true. The hardest part might just be starting, learning to be a family again, learning to trust again, learning to be happy again when you had forgotten what happy felt like. Maya stood in the empty mansion one last time. The moving truck had taken all their boxes to San Diego that morning. The rooms were bare now. No furniture, No pictures on the walls, just empty space and memories. Sarah walked through the rooms saying goodbye. She touched the walls gently. Mia followed her, holding the stuffed bear their mother had given her years ago. "I thought I would hate this house," Sarah said. "But I don't. This house was our home once, before Victoria, before everything went wrong. We had good years here." Maya walked to the window in what used to be the living room. She could see Maple Drive outside, the palm trees, the other mansions, the expensive cars driving past. Everything looked the same as always, but their family was completely different. "Are you ready to go?" Sarah asked. Maya turned around. "Yes, I am ready." They drove south to San Diego in Sarah's new car. It was not fancy, just a regular blue sedan that Sarah bought with money from her parents. Everything Robert owned had gone to paying back what his company stole. They had almost no money now. The new house in San Diego was small, 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a tiny kitchen, a small yard with brown grass. It was nothing like the mansion. But when they walked inside, Maya felt something she had not felt in years. She felt safe. "This is home now," Sarah said. She put her arm around both twins. "A real home, where we tell the truth, where we love each other, where nobody gets locked in attics." Maya and Mia's bedrooms were small but painted pink, just like Sarah had promised. They each had a bed and a dresser and a small desk. Sarah had hung pictures on the walls, pictures of their family from before, Maya in a Halloween costume, Mia blowing out birthday candles, all 4 of them at the beach. That first night in the new house, Sarah made spaghetti for dinner. They ate at the small kitchen table. The food tasted good. Simple, but good. After dinner, Sarah read them a bedtime story. She sat on the edge of Maya's bed with Mia curled up beside her. She read from an old book about a princess who saved herself. "I like this story," Mia said sleepily. "The princess does not wait for someone to rescue her. She rescues herself." "Just like you girls," Sarah said. She kissed both their foreheads. "You saved yourselves. You saved me. You are my heroes." That night, Maya had a nightmare. She dreamed she was back in the attic. Victoria was screaming at her. The door was locked. She could not get out. She woke up crying and gasping for air. Sarah appeared in the doorway immediately. "Maya? Sweetheart, what is wrong?" "Bad dream," Maya whispered. "About the attic, about Victoria." Sarah climbed into bed next to Maya and held her. "Victoria is in prison. She cannot hurt you anymore. You are safe now." "I know," Maya said. "But my brain does not know. I keep dreaming about her. I keep thinking she will come back." "That will get better," Sarah said. "It takes time. Healing takes time." But weeks passed and the nightmares did not stop. Mia had them too. Sometimes both girls would wake up crying on the same night. Sarah barely slept anymore. She stayed awake listening for them. Sarah took them to see a doctor. A therapist named Dr. Lisa Wang. Dr. Wang had a kind face and spoke in a soft voice. She asked Maya and Mia questions about their feelings, about their fears, about what Victoria had done to them. "What you experienced was trauma," Dr. Wang explained. "Your brain is trying to process terrible things that happened. The nightmares are part of that process. They are normal, but we can work together to help you feel safer." Maya and Mia started seeing Dr. Wang twice a week. Slowly, very slowly, the nightmares became less frequent. Maya learned breathing exercises to do when she felt scared. Mia learned how to talk about her feelings instead of keeping them inside. Sarah got a job teaching music at an elementary school near their house. She taught piano and guitar and singing. She came home every day at 4 o'clock. She was always there when Maya and Mia got home from their school. Their new school was different from their old one in Beverly Hills. The building was older. The playground had cracks in the cement. But the teachers were nice. The other kids were friendly. Nobody knew about their past. Nobody knew about Victoria, or the kidnapping, or the trial. They could just be normal kids. Robert called them every Sunday morning. The prison allowed him one phone call per week. Each call lasted 15 minutes. He always asked about school, about their mother, about how they were doing. "I miss you girls," Robert said every time. "I think about you every day." For the first 6 months, Maya barely talked to him on the phone. She would say fine and okay and nothing else. She was still too angry, too hurt. He had failed them when they needed him most. But Mia talked to him. She told him about school, about their new friends, about the beach. She forgave him more easily than Maya did. "Why are you so nice to him?" Maya asked Mia one day after a phone call. "He let Victoria hurt us for 3 years. He chose work over us." "I know," Mia said. "But he is trying to be better now. He made terrible mistakes, but he is paying for them. He is in prison. He lost everything. And he is our dad. I miss him." Maya understood. Part of her missed him too. But another part was still too angry to forgive. Then something changed. 6 months after Robert went to prison, Maya started writing him letters. Short ones at first. Just a few sentences about school or the weather. Robert wrote back immediately. Long letters telling her how proud he was, how sorry he was, how much he loved her. The letters got longer. Maya told him about her nightmares, about therapy, about how hard it was to feel happy when she kept waiting for something bad to happen. Robert told her about prison, about the classes he was taking, about the other men there who had also made terrible choices and were trying to become better people. "Being in here is hard," Robert wrote, "but it is also teaching me important lessons. I learned that money means nothing, that work means nothing. The only thing that matters is family, the people you love. I lost sight of that. I will never lose sight of it again." Maya kept every letter in a shoebox under her bed. She had 43 letters by the time Robert's first year in prison ended. Sarah took Maya and Mia to visit their father every month. The prison was 3 hours away. They drove there on Saturday mornings. The visits were in a big room with tables and chairs. Guards stood by the walls watching everyone. Robert looked different in his prison uniform, thinner, older, but his eyes looked clearer somehow, less tired. He hugged Maya and Mia tight every time they visited. He asked them real questions and listened to their answers. He was present in a way he had never been before. "I am learning what it means to be a father," Robert told Sarah during one visit. "Before, I thought being a father meant providing money, a nice house, expensive things. But that is not what matters. What matters is showing up, being there, listening, protecting. I failed at all of that. But I will do better when I get out, I promise." Sarah's face was hard to read. "We will see." On Maya's 12th birthday, Robert called during his weekly phone time. "Happy birthday, sweetheart. I am so sorry I cannot be there with you." "It is okay," Maya said, and she meant it. "You will be home in 8 more months." "I am counting the days," Robert said. "I have a calendar in my cell. I mark off each day. Every day is one day closer to coming home to my family." After the phone call, Sarah gave Maya and Mia a surprise. "Get in the car, we are going somewhere special." They drove to a building downtown. A sign out front said Hope House Children's Shelter. Sarah parked, and they walked inside. A woman with gray hair and a warm smile met them at the door. "You must be Sarah," the woman said, "and these are your daughters. Welcome, I am Margaret. I run Hope House." Sarah had explained in the car. Hope House was a shelter for children who had lost their parents or been taken from bad homes. Kids who were alone and scared. Kids who needed hope. "I told Margaret your story," Sarah said to Maya and Mia. "She asked if you would be willing to talk to some of the children here, to tell them how you survived, how you found hope even in darkness." Maya felt nervous. What would we say? "Whatever you want," Margaret said. "Just tell them the truth. These kids need to hear that things can get better, that they are not alone." They walked into a room where about 15 kids sat on couches and chairs. Some looked Maya's age, some were younger, some were older. They all looked sad and scared. Margaret introduced Maya and Mia. "These two young ladies have an important story to share with you." Maya stood up front with Mia beside her. She looked at all the faces staring at her. She saw her own past in their eyes, the fear, the pain, the wondering if life would ever be okay again. 3 years ago, our mother disappeared, Maya began. Her voice was quiet at first but grew stronger. Someone took her away from us. We lived with a woman who was cruel. She locked us in an attic. She barely fed us. She told us our mother left because she did not love us. We believed her for a long time. Mia continued, "We were so sad, so scared. We thought we would never be happy again. But then we found something," Maya said. "A hidden message from our mother. It told us the truth. It gave us hope. And that hope gave us courage. We did something scary. We told the truth even though we were terrified. And the truth saved our mother. The truth saved us." An older girl raised her hand. "But how do you stop being scared all the time? How do you trust that things will be okay?" Maya thought about that. "I still get scared. I have nightmares. I see a therapist. Healing is not fast, but every day gets a little easier. And you are not alone. None of us are alone. We have each other." They spent an hour talking with the kids, answering questions, listening to stories. When it was time to leave, several kids hugged Maya and Mia. "Thank you for coming," one little boy said. He looked about 8 years old. "I thought I was the only one who felt this way, but you felt this way too. And you are okay now, so maybe I will be okay too." "You will be," Mia promised. "It takes time, but you will be okay." In the car driving home, Sarah smiled at her daughters. "You did something important today. You gave those kids hope. That is the most valuable gift in the world." Maya looked out the window at San Diego passing by. Their small house was waiting for them. Their simple life. It was not fancy or glamorous, but it was real. It was honest. It was theirs. "Can we go back?" Maya asked. "To Hope House. Can we volunteer there?" "As often as you want," Sarah said. From that day forward, Maya and Mia went to Hope House every Saturday. They spent time with the kids there, playing games, reading stories, listening, just being present. Maya found that helping others helped her too. When she focused on giving hope to other kids, her own nightmares decreased. Her own fear became smaller. She was not just a victim anymore. She was someone who could help, someone who could make a difference. The months passed. Spring turned to summer. Summer turned to fall. Robert's release date got closer and closer. 2 months away. Then 1 month. Then 2 weeks. Maya's feelings were complicated. Part of her was excited to have her father home. Part of her was nervous. Would he really be different? Or would he go back to working all the time and missing everything important? What if he has not really changed? Maya asked her mother one night. Sarah was quiet for a moment. "Then we will deal with that. But Maya, I have seen your father during our visits. I have read his letters. I believe he has changed. People can change when they truly want to, when they hit bottom and climb back up. Your father hit bottom. He lost everything. Sometimes that is what it takes." On November 15th, Robert Harrison was released from prison. He had served 2 full years. Sarah drove alone to pick him up. Maya and Mia waited at home. They cleaned the house and made a welcome home sign. When the car pulled up, Maya's heart started beating fast. She watched through the window as her father got out. He wore regular clothes, jeans and a blue shirt. He looked healthy, stronger than before. He walked to the front door. Sarah opened it. Robert stepped inside and looked around. His eyes filled with tears when he saw the small house, the simple furniture, the welcome home sign. Then he saw Maya and Mia standing in the living room. He opened his arms and they ran to him. Robert held Maya and Mia tight. He was crying. The twins were crying too. Sarah stood by the door, watching with tears in her eyes. "I missed you so much," Robert said. His voice broke. "Every single day, I am so sorry for everything. I am going to do better, I promise." They stayed like that for a long time, just holding each other. Finally, Robert pulled back and looked at his daughters. "You both got so tall. You look so grown up." "We are 12 now," Mia said. "We grew a lot in 2 years." Robert walked through the small house. He looked at every room. The tiny kitchen, the small living room, the 3 bedrooms with their simple furniture. "This is perfect," he said. "This is exactly what we need." Sarah raised her eyebrows. 2 years ago, you would have hated this house. You would have said it was too small, too plain. 2 years ago, I was an idiot, Robert said. I cared about the wrong things. This house has everything that matters. My family is here. That makes it perfect. That first week with Robert home was strange. Good strange, but still strange. Robert made breakfast every morning. He asked about school and actually listened to the answers. He helped with homework. He washed dishes. He did laundry. He was present in a way he had never been before. "It is weird having Dad around all the time," Maya whispered to Mia one night. "But good weird." "I like it," Mia said. "He is different now. Better." Robert got a job 2 weeks after coming home. A charity organization called Family First needed an accountant. They helped homeless families find housing and jobs. The pay was low. Robert made more money in one day at his old company than he now made in a month, but he came home smiling every day. "I helped a family today," he told them at dinner. A mother with 3 kids. They had been living in their car for 6 months. We found them an apartment. I saw the kids' faces when they walked in and saw their own bedrooms. That feeling is worth more than any business deal I ever made. Maya watched her father carefully. She still had walls up. She still waited for him to disappoint them again. But slowly those walls began to crack. Every Saturday, Robert went with Maya and Mia to Hope House. He helped fix broken things. He played basketball with the older kids. He listened to their stories without judging them. "Your dad is cool," one of the kids told Maya. A 13-year-old boy named Marcus who had been at Hope House for 8 months. "He really listens, like he actually cares." "He does care," Maya said, and she realized she believed it now. The months passed. Maya and Mia turned 13, then 14, then 15. They grew taller. They changed from little girls into young women. Maya started writing poetry. Mia started painting. They both made friends at school. Real friends who knew their story and liked them anyway. Robert never missed a school event. Not one. He came to every parent-teacher conference, every school play, every band concert. Sarah would look at him sometimes with surprise in her eyes. "Who are you and what did you do with my workaholic husband?" she joked one night. "He is gone," Robert said seriously. "I killed him in prison. This is the new me, the real me, the me I should have been all along." Sarah's face softened. "I am starting to believe that." Their family was healing, slowly, with setbacks and struggles, but healing. Maya still saw Dr. Wang every month. The nightmares were rare now, maybe once every few months instead of every night. She had learned to recognize her triggers. Locked doors made her anxious, raised voices made her heart race, but she had tools now to manage the fear. Mia struggled more. She developed anxiety that made it hard for her to let Sarah out of her sight. If Sarah was late coming home from work, Mia would panic. If Sarah did not answer her phone immediately, Mia thought something terrible had happened. "I know it is not logical," Mia told Dr. Wang during one session. "Maya was there too. They sometimes did therapy together. I know Mom is safe, but my brain does not believe it. My brain thinks someone will take her away again. That is normal after trauma," Dr. Wang explained. "Your sense of safety was destroyed. It takes time to rebuild it. Be patient with yourself." On Maya's 16th birthday, the family went to the beach. They had a picnic with sandwiches and fruit and cake. Robert gave Maya a present, a journal with a leather cover. "For your poetry," he said. "I read some of the poems you left on the kitchen table. Maya, you are incredibly talented. You should keep writing." Maya felt her eyes burn with tears. Her father had noticed her poetry. He had paid attention. "Thank you." They walked along the beach after eating. Robert walked beside Maya while Sarah and Mia collected seashells up ahead. "I know I have said this 1,000 times," Robert began, "but I need to say it again. I am sorry for everything I failed to do, for all the ways I let you down." Maya was quiet for a moment. She watched the waves roll in and out. "I was so angry at you. For years I was angry. You had every right to be." "I know," Maya said. "But Dad, I don't want to be angry anymore. I am tired of being angry. You made terrible mistakes, but you have spent 4 years trying to make up for them. You showed up. You changed. That matters." Robert stopped walking. "Are you saying what I think you are saying?" Maya turned to face him. "I forgive you. I forgive you for not protecting us from Victoria, for choosing work over family, for being blind when you should have seen. I forgive you because you are trying to be better, because you actually became better." Robert started crying. He pulled Maya into a hug. Thank you so much. You have no idea what that means to me." "I have some idea," Maya said. "Mom forgave you last year. Mia forgave you 3 years ago. I was the only one still holding on. It was making me tired. Forgiveness is not for you. It is for me. I need to let it go so I can move forward." That night, Sarah made Maya's favorite dinner, spaghetti with garlic bread. They ate together at their small kitchen table. Robert told a funny story about something that happened at work. Mia laughed so hard she snorted. Sarah smiled the kind of smile that reached her eyes. Maya looked around the table at her family. They were not perfect. They were still broken in some ways. But they were together. They were honest with each other. They were trying. That was enough. Time kept moving forward. Maya and Mia kept volunteering at Hope House every Saturday. They had helped hundreds of kids over the years. Some stayed at the shelter for just a few weeks. Others stayed for months. Maya and Mia learned all their names, remembered all their stories. "You girls are making a real difference," Margaret told them one Saturday. "Some of these kids have no hope when they arrive. They think their lives are over. But you show them that survival is possible, that healing is possible. That is the greatest gift." Maya thought about the little girl she used to be. The 10-year-old locked in an attic believing her mother had abandoned her. That girl had been so scared, so hopeless. If someone had told that girl that 6 years later she would be happy and healthy and helping other kids find hope, she would not have believed it. But it was true. She had survived. They all had survived. On Christmas Eve, when Maya and Mia were 16 years old, the family gathered in their living room. Sarah brought out the golden locket, the one Maya had found hidden under the floorboard 6 years ago, the one that had saved them all. They passed it around. Each person held it and remembered that night. The dinner party, the confrontation, the drive to San Francisco, the reunion. "I cannot believe it has been 6 years, Mia said. "It feels like yesterday and 1,000,000 years ago at the same time." "Time is strange like that," Sarah said. "Trauma makes time feel different." Robert held the locket carefully. "This tiny thing changed everything. If you girls had not found it, we might never have known the truth." "We would have found out eventually," Maya said. "The truth always comes out. It just might have taken longer." Sarah put the locket back around her neck. She wore it every day now, a reminder of what they had survived, what they had overcome. "I want to say something," Sarah said. She looked at each of them. "I am proud of this family not because we are perfect. We are far from perfect. But because when everything fell apart, we found our way back to each other. We chose truth over lies. We chose love over fear. That is what family means." "Family is not just about blood," Mia added. It is about people who refuse to abandon each other no matter what." "Exactly," Robert said. "I abandoned you girls once. I will never do that again. Never. You can count on me now, for the rest of my life." Maya believed him. Finally, completely, she believed him. They stayed up late that Christmas Eve. They played board games and ate cookies and laughed. Real laughter that came from deep inside. Joy that was not shadowed by fear. At midnight, they went outside and looked at the stars. The San Diego night was clear and cool. Millions of stars filled the sky. "Make a wish," Sarah said. Maya closed her eyes. She did not wish for money or fame or anything big. She wished for more nights like this. More simple, happy moments with her family. More time to heal and grow and help others. When she opened her eyes, she caught her father watching her. He smiled. Not a fake smile. A real one. "What did you wish for?" he asked. "I cannot tell you," Maya said. "Then it will not come true." But she knew her wish had already come true. She had her family. She had safety. She had hope. What more could anyone need? The years continued to pass. Maya graduated high school at 18. Mia did too. They both got accepted to colleges in San Diego so they could stay close to home. Maya studied social work. Mia studied art therapy. Both wanted to help children who had experienced trauma. "You are taking your pain and turning it into purpose," Dr. Wang told them during their final therapy session. "That is the mark of true healing." On Maya's 21st birthday, she published her first book, a collection of poems about survival and hope. She dedicated it to her mother and sister. For Sarah, who never gave up. For Mia, who taught me that softness is strength. The book sold well, not millions of copies, but enough. Enough that Maya's words reached people who needed them, people who felt alone in their pain, people who needed to know that darkness does not last forever. By the time Maya turned 25, she was running her own program at Hope House, a therapy group for children who had been separated from their parents. She used poetry and writing to help them process trauma. Mia opened an art studio next door. She taught painting to foster kids. She believed that art could heal wounds that words could not reach. Robert and Sarah were still together, still in their small house in San Diego. They had stayed together through all the hard years, through all the therapy and fights and setbacks. They had chosen each other every single day. That was what love meant. Not feelings, choice. Every Christmas Eve the family still gathered. Sometimes it was just the four of them. Sometimes Maya brought her partner. Sometimes Mia brought friends. But they always looked at the golden locket together. They always told the story to anyone new, the story of how two 10-year-old girls saved their mother when all the adults failed. Courage is not about being unafraid, Maya would say. Courage is about doing the right thing even when you are terrified. And everyone listening would nod, because they understood. They all had their own stories of courage, their own battles with fear, their own journeys from darkness to light. The Harrison family was proof that broken things could be repaired. Not perfectly. The cracks still showed. But repaired things were often stronger than things that had never broken. Love always finds a way home, even when the journey is dark and scary, even when hope seems impossible. Love finds a way. That first year with Robert home was not easy. Maya had said she forgave him, but forgiveness was not a moment. It was a process. Some days were good. Other days were hard. One night, Maya came home late from studying at the library. She walked in and found the house dark. Her heart started pounding. Where was everyone? Had something happened? Had someone taken her mother again? She ran through the house, turning on lights. "Mom? Mia? Dad?" Sarah appeared in the hallway, looking confused. "Maya? What is wrong? We were in the backyard looking at the stars." Maya's legs felt weak. She sat down on the couch. "The house was dark. I thought something happened. I thought you were gone." Sarah sat beside her and put an arm around her shoulders. "We are here. We are safe. Nothing happened." "I know," Maya said. "My brain knows, but my body does not know. My body still thinks something terrible is about to happen." "That is the trauma," Sarah said gently. "It lives in our bodies even after our minds understand we are safe. Be patient with yourself." Robert and Mia came inside from the backyard. Robert saw Maya's face and immediately understood. "Bad moment?" Maya nodded. Robert sat on her other side. "When I was in prison, I had panic attacks. I would wake up thinking I was still at the mansion, that I still had everything. Then I would open my eyes and see the prison cell and remember. I lost everything because of my own choices. It felt like falling every single time." "How did you deal with it?" Maya asked. "I reminded myself that feeling bad was part of healing," Robert said. "Pain is not the enemy. Hiding from pain is the enemy. I had to feel everything I had done wrong, really feel it. Only then could I start to change." Those words helped Maya. She stopped trying to be okay all the time. She let herself have bad days. She let herself be scared sometimes. She let herself be angry sometimes. And slowly, very slowly, the bad days became less frequent. Mia struggled differently. She developed rituals to feel safe. She had to check all the locks in the house 3 times before bed. She had to call Sarah every day at lunch to make sure she was okay. She had to sleep with the lamp on. "I know it is weird," Mia told Maya one night, "but I cannot sleep in the dark anymore. The dark reminds me of the attic." "It is not weird," Maya said. "Do what you need to do to feel safe." But Sarah was worried. She took Mia back to Dr. Wang. Dr. Wang diagnosed Mia with anxiety disorder related to post-traumatic stress. She prescribed medication and more therapy. "Will I always be like this?" Mia asked. "Will I always be scared?" "Maybe," Dr. Wang said honestly. "Or maybe the fear will lessen over time. But Mia, having anxiety does not make you broken. It makes you human. You survived something terrible. Your brain is trying to protect you. We just need to teach your brain that it is safe to relax now." The medication helped. The therapy helped more. Mia learned that she could not control everything. She could not prevent bad things from happening. But she could control how she responded to her fear. She could choose to do things even when she was scared. One day Mia decided to sleep with the lamp off, just to try. She lay in the dark feeling her heart race. She did the breathing exercises Dr. Wang taught her. She repeated the words in her head. "I am safe. Mom is safe. Nothing bad is happening right now." She made it through the night. In the morning she felt proud. It was a small thing, but small things mattered. Robert struggled too. He had to rebuild his entire identity. For 20 years he had been Robert Harrison, successful businessman, millionaire, powerful man. Now he was Robert Harrison, ex-convict, low-paid charity worker, man who lost everything. Some days he was okay with it, other days he felt ashamed. He would see his old business colleagues in the news. They were still rich and successful. They had not been caught. They were living the life he used to live. "Do you regret telling the truth?" Sarah asked him one night. "Do you wish you had kept hiding?" Robert thought about it. "Sometimes. Yes. Sometimes I wish I had never gotten caught, that I was still rich and comfortable and blind to my own sins. But then I look at our family, really look at it. We talk to each other now. We are honest. We are present. I would not have that if I was still living the old life. So no, I do not regret it. The truth cost me everything, but it gave me back what actually matters." Sarah reached across the table and took his hand. "I am proud of you. I know that does not erase what you did, but I am proud of who you are becoming." Robert's eyes filled with tears. "That means more to me than any amount of money ever did." The family established new traditions. Every Sunday they had dinner together. No phones, no television, just talking and being together. They went around the table and each person shared one good thing from their week and one hard thing. "My good thing is that I got an A on my history test," Mia would say. "My hard thing is that I had 3 panic attacks this week. My good thing is that I helped a kid at Hope House feel better," Maya would say. "My hard thing is that I had a nightmare about Victoria." They were honest about the hard things. They did not pretend to be perfect. That honesty made them stronger. One Saturday at Hope House, a new girl arrived. She was 10 years old with dark hair and sad eyes. Her name was Lucia. Her mother had died and her father was in prison. She had no other family. She sat alone in the corner, not talking to anyone. Maya sat down beside her. "Hi, I am Maya. I volunteer here." Lucia looked at her but said nothing. "I know you do not want to talk," Maya said. "That is okay, but I want to tell you something. When I was your age, I thought my life was over. I thought I would never be happy again. I was wrong. It took time. It took help. It took a lot of hard work, but I found my way back to happy. You will too." Lucia's eyes filled with tears. "How do you know?" "Because you are still here," Maya said. "You are still trying. That is all you need. Just keep trying. One day at a time." Lucia started crying. Maya held her while she cried. She did not tell her to stop. She did not tell her everything would be okay. She just held her and let her feel her sadness. After a while, Lucia stopped crying. "Will you come back next week?" "Yes," Maya promised. "I will be here every Saturday." And she was. Every Saturday, Maya sat with Lucia. They drew pictures together. They read books together. Slowly, Lucia started to smile, started to talk, started to hope again. "You are good at this," Margaret told Maya one day. "Have you thought about making this your career? Working with traumatized children?" Maya had thought about it. "I want to study social work in college. I want to help kids who feel the way I felt, kids who think they are alone." "You will be amazing at it," Margaret said. "You understand their pain because you lived it. That is powerful." When Maya was 17, a reporter called the house. She wanted to write an article about their story, about how 2 girls saved their mother, about Victoria's crimes, about the family's recovery. "I do not know," Sarah said. "Our story is private, personal." But Maya thought about Lucia, about all the kids at Hope House, about all the people in the world who felt alone in their pain. Maybe sharing our story would help people. Maybe someone needs to hear it. They agreed to the interview. The reporter came to their house. Her name was Jennifer Kim. She was young with kind eyes and a gentle voice. She asked questions for 3 hours. She asked about the attic, about the locket, about the trial, about the recovery. "What do you want people to know?" Jennifer asked at the end. "If someone is reading this article and they are in a bad situation, what would you tell them?" Maya thought carefully. "I would tell them that hope is not stupid. Sometimes people think hope is naive or foolish, but hope is what keeps you alive. Hope is what makes you try one more day. Hold on to hope even when everything seems dark. And tell the truth, even when it is scary. Especially when it is scary. The truth is the only thing that can set you free." The article was published 2 months later. It was long and detailed and honest. It talked about the good and the bad, about the trauma and the healing, about the mistakes and the redemption. The article went viral. Suddenly everyone was talking about the Harrison family. News shows wanted interviews. Podcasts wanted them as guests. Book publishers wanted them to write a memoir. "This is too much," Sarah said. "This is overwhelming." They decided to do one television interview and then stop. They chose a morning talk show with a host named Patricia Morgan, who was known for being respectful and thoughtful. The whole family went: Maya, Mia, Sarah, and Robert. They sat on a couch in front of cameras and lights and a live studio audience. Patricia asked them questions. They answered honestly. "What is the most important lesson you learned?" Patricia asked. Robert answered, "That success without integrity is worthless. I had everything money could buy, but I had nothing that actually mattered. I was empty inside. Now I have very little money, but I am rich in the things that count. Family, purpose, honesty. I would not trade that for anything." "What about you girls?" Patricia asked Maya and Mia. "What did you learn?" Mia spoke first. "I learned that being vulnerable is not weakness. For a long time I thought I had to be strong all the time. I thought asking for help meant I was broken. But everyone needs help sometimes. Accepting help is brave." Maya added, "I learned that forgiveness is not forgetting. People think forgiving means saying what happened was okay, but that is not what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is choosing not to let the past poison your future. It is choosing to move forward even though you were hurt. That is the hardest and most important choice I ever made." The audience applauded. Some people were crying. After the interview aired, Maya received hundreds of messages. People thanking her for sharing her story. People saying her words helped them. People saying they had been in similar situations and felt less alone now. One message stuck with Maya. It was from a 14-year-old girl named Emma. "I am living with my stepmom who is cruel to me. My dad does not see it. I thought I was going crazy. I thought it was my fault. But your story showed me I am not crazy. I am not alone. Thank you for being brave enough to tell the truth. You gave me the courage to tell my truth too." Maya showed the message to her family. "This is why we shared our story, for people like Emma." "Should we respond to her?" Mia asked. They did. They sent Emma information about resources, about how to talk to trusted adults, about how to stay safe. They could not save her, but they could give her tools and hope. 2 months later, Emma sent another message. "I told my school counselor everything. She called Child Protective Services. They investigated. They found out my stepmom was abusing me. I am living with my aunt now. My dad is getting therapy. He is starting to see the truth. Thank you for helping me find my voice." Maya read that message and cried. Happy tears. Grateful tears. Their pain had purpose. Their story was helping others. On Maya and Mia's 18th birthday, the family had a party at the beach. Just the 4 of them. They brought sandwiches and cake and candles. They sat on blankets watching the sunset. 18 years old, Sarah said. "You are adults now. I am so proud of the women you are becoming." "We would not be here without you," Maya said. "Any of us. You never gave up, Mom. Even when you were drugged and imprisoned and alone, you held on. You believed we would find you. That belief saved all of us." Sarah touched the golden locket around her neck. "This locket saved us, and your courage. You were just 10 years old. You walked into that dining room knowing Victoria might destroy you. But you did it anyway. That is the definition of bravery." "We learned it from you," Mia said. Robert had been quiet. Now he spoke. "I want to say something. I know I have apologized 1,000 times. But I need you girls to know something. You saved me too. Not just your mother. Me. I was drowning in lies and greed and fear. I was becoming someone terrible. You forced me to face the truth. You gave me a chance to become better. I will spend the rest of my life trying to be worthy of that gift." Maya looked at her father. "You are worthy, Dad. You proved it. You spent 2 years in prison. You gave up everything. You show up every day. You do the work. That is all anyone can do." They blew out the candles on the cake. Maya made a wish. She wished for more time like this, more moments of peace and love and connection, more chances to help others, more opportunities to turn pain into purpose. The sun set over the Pacific Ocean. The sky turned orange and pink and purple. The waves rolled in and out. The Harrison family sat together on the sand. Not perfect, not without scars, but together, honest, healing, and that was enough. The weeks after their 18th birthday passed quickly. Maya and Mia graduated from high school in June. The ceremony was held outside on the football field. Sarah and Robert sat in the stands, cheering louder than anyone else when the twins walked across the stage to receive their diplomas. "I am so proud of you both," Sarah said afterward. She hugged them tight. "You worked so hard for this." "We had help," Maya said. She looked at her parents. "You both showed up. You supported us. That matters." Robert wiped his eyes. He cried easily now. Prison had broken down the walls he used to keep around his emotions. "What are your plans for the fall? Have you decided on colleges?" "We both got accepted to San Diego State," Mia said. "We can live at home and commute, save money." "And stay close to Hope House," Maya added. "We want to keep volunteering there." Sarah smiled. "You two have such good hearts. I do not know where you got that from." "From you," both girls said at the same time. That summer, Maya and Mia worked part-time jobs and spent every Saturday at Hope House. Lucia was still there. She was 12 now. She had been at the shelter for 2 years waiting for a permanent foster placement. "I wish someone would adopt me," Lucia told Maya one Saturday. "I am tired of waiting, tired of being temporary." Maya's heart hurt. She knew that feeling, the feeling of not belonging anywhere, of being unwanted. "The right family will come, I promise." "How do you know?" Lucia asked. "Because you deserve it," Maya said. "And good things happen to people who deserve them. Maybe not right away, maybe not when we want them to, but eventually." 3 weeks later, Margaret called Maya with news. "A couple wants to meet Lucia. They have been trying to adopt for years. They saw her file and felt a connection. Can you be here when they visit? Lucia trusts you." Maya went to Hope House that Tuesday evening. The couple was already there. Their names were David and Christine Park. They were in their 40s with kind faces and nervous smiles. Lucia sat on the couch looking scared. Maya sat beside her and held her hand. "Hi, Lucia," Christine said softly. "We heard you like to draw. We brought you some art supplies." She handed Lucia a bag full of colored pencils and sketch pads. Lucia looked inside the bag. Her eyes went wide. "These are expensive." "You are worth it," David said. They talked for an hour. David and Christine asked Lucia about school and her favorite foods and what she liked to do. They did not rush her. They did not push. They just listened. When it was time for them to leave, Christine knelt down in front of Lucia. "We would love to have you come live with us. You do not have to decide right now. You can think about it. But we want you to know that we already love you. We have been waiting for you." Lucia looked at Maya. "What should I do?" "What does your heart say?" Maya asked. Lucia looked at David and Christine, then back at Maya. "My heart says yes, but I am scared." "Being scared is okay," Maya said. "You can be scared and say yes at the same time." Lucia was placed with David and Christine 2 months later. The adoption was finalized 6 months after that. Maya and Mia went to the courthouse for the celebration. Lucia wore a pink dress and held a bouquet of flowers. When the judge declared the adoption official, everyone clapped and cried. Lucia ran to Maya and hugged her tight. "You were right. The right family came. Thank you for not letting me give up hope." "You did the hard part," Maya said. "You held on. You stayed open to love even after so much loss. That takes incredible strength." Watching Lucia find her family healed something in Maya. She realized that their story had a ripple effect. They saved their mother. Their mother saved them. And now they were helping save other children. Pain that turned into purpose. Darkness that created light. Maya and Mia started college that fall. Maya studied social work. Mia studied psychology with a focus on art therapy. They took some classes together. Other classes they took apart. They were learning to be individuals while still being twins. Sarah thrived in her job teaching music. She had students who had never touched an instrument before. She taught them piano and guitar and singing. She made music fun and joyful instead of stressful. "I had a student cry today," Sarah told her family at dinner one night. "A little boy named Marcus. He played the piano for the first time. He said he did not know he could make something beautiful. He thought he only made messes. "What did you tell him?" Mia asked. "I told him that everyone can make beautiful things. We just need someone to believe in us first, to show us we have value. That is what teaching is, believing in people until they can believe in themselves." Robert continued working at Family First. He had been promoted to Director of Finances. He oversaw the budget for the entire organization. The pay was still low compared to his old salary, but he came home fulfilled instead of empty. "We housed 32 families this month," Robert said proudly. 32 families who were homeless now have roofs over their heads, beds to sleep in, kitchens to cook in. That is more valuable than any profit margin I ever achieved." One evening, Robert came home with news. Family First wants to expand, open a second location in Los Angeles. They asked if I would consider moving there to run it. The table went quiet. Los Angeles, where the mansion used to be, where everything bad had happened. "What did you say?" Sarah asked carefully. "I said no," Robert replied. "I told them my family is here, my life is here. I will not sacrifice my family for work ever again." They understood. Sarah reached across the table and squeezed his hand. "Thank you." Maya watched her parents. They had rebuilt their marriage from ruins. It had not been easy. They went to couples therapy for years. They had arguments and setbacks, but they chose each other every single day. That was what real love looked like. Not easy, not perfect, but committed. When Maya turned 21, she published her book of poetry. The launch party was held at a small bookstore in downtown San Diego. The whole family came. So did Margaret and kids from Hope House. So did Sarah's students and Robert's co-workers. The store was packed. Maya read 3 poems. One about the attic, one about finding the locket, one about forgiveness. Her voice shook at first, but grew stronger. When she finished, everyone stood and applauded. A woman approached Maya afterward. She was in her 50s with gray hair and gentle eyes. "Thank you for writing these words. My daughter was kidnapped 10 years ago. We never found her. Your poems helped me feel less alone in my grief." Maya hugged her. "I am so sorry about your daughter." "Me too," the woman said. "But your family gives me hope. Hope that maybe someday I will get answers, or if not answers, at least peace." Maya thought about that conversation for days. Their story mattered to people they would never meet, people who were suffering in ways Maya could not imagine. That responsibility felt heavy, but also meaningful. Mia opened her art therapy studio when she was 23. It was a small space with big windows and white walls. She offered free classes to foster children and kids in the social services system. She taught them to express their feelings through painting and drawing and sculpture. "Art saved me," Mia told her first class of students. "When I could not find words for my pain, I found colors instead. Red for anger, blue for sadness, yellow for hope. Art gave me a voice when I thought I had lost it." The studio was always full. Kids came every week. Some were shy and quiet. Others were loud and angry. All of them were hurting. Mia met them where they were. She did not try to fix them. She just gave them space to be themselves. Maya started working at Hope House full-time after graduating college. She ran therapy groups and helped with case management. She fought for kids in court. She visited them in foster homes. She advocated for their needs when no one else would. "You are going to burn out," one of her co-workers warned. "You care too much. You take on too much. You need boundaries." "I know," Maya said, "but these kids do not have anyone else fighting for them. If I do not show up, who will?" She learned to balance, to take breaks, to say no sometimes, but she never stopped showing up. She remembered what it felt like when adults failed her. She refused to be that adult for someone else. Years passed. Maya and Mia turned 25, then 28, then 30. They both had relationships. Some lasted, some did not. They learned about love the hard way. Through mistakes and heartbreak and healing, Robert and Sarah grew older. They both retired in their 60s. They spent their days walking on the beach and reading books and visiting their daughters. They had been married for 40 years. Through everything. Through the worst and the best. "Do you ever regret staying with me?" Robert asked Sarah one night. They were sitting on their porch watching the sunset. "After everything I put you through, the lies, the neglect, the weakness, you could have left. You should have left." Sarah was quiet for a moment. "I thought about it many times, especially in the beginning when the anger was fresh. But Robert, you changed. Really changed. Not just saying sorry, but actually becoming different. How could I leave someone who was trying so hard to be better? That would make me the coward." "You are the strongest person I know," Robert said. "No," Sarah corrected. "Our daughters are the strongest. They saved us all." On Christmas Eve, when Maya and Mia were 35 years old, the family gathered at Sarah and Robert's house. Maya brought her wife Elena, Mia brought her partner Jordan. They all sat in the living room with hot chocolate and cookies. Sarah brought out the golden locket. She handed it to Maya. "Tell the story." Maya had told this story hundreds of times, but it never got old. She opened the locket and looked at the tiny picture of her mother inside. Then she began. 25 years ago, my sister and I were locked in an attic by a cruel woman who had stolen our mother. We were 10 years old, scared, hopeless, starving. We thought our mother had abandoned us. We thought we were alone. She passed the locket to Mia. Mia continued. "But then we found this, hidden under a loose floorboard. Our mother had left us a message that told us the truth, that gave us hope, that saved our lives." Elena, who had heard this story before, still had tears in her eyes. Jordan, who was hearing it for the first time, looked shocked. "You were so brave." "We were terrified," Maya said. "But we did it anyway. That is what courage is. Not the absence of fear, but action despite fear." They talked late into the night, about the past and the present and the future, about mistakes and redemptions, about pain that became purpose. "What do you want people to remember about our story?" Elena asked. Sarah answered, "I want people to remember that family is not about perfection. It is about showing up. It is about telling the truth even when lying is easier. It is about forgiving even when holding grudges feels safer. It is about choosing each other every single day." Robert added, "I want people to know that it is never too late to change. I was 50 years old when I finally grew up, when I finally became the man I should have been all along. If I can change, anyone can." Mia spoke next. "I want people to know that healing is not linear. Some days you feel great. Other days you feel broken. Both are okay. Both are part of the process." Maya said, "I want people to know that hope is not naive. Hope is survival. Hope is resistance. Hope is the most powerful weapon we have against darkness." They all looked at the golden locket sitting on the coffee table. Such a small thing, but it had changed everything. "Love always finds a way home," Sarah said softly. "Even when the journey is dark, even when the road is long, even when giving up feels easier, love finds a way." Maya picked up the locket and held it to her chest. She felt the weight of it, the history of it, the miracle of it. This tiny piece of metal and chain had saved her family, but really, love had saved them. Stubborn, persistent, refusing to give up love. Outside, rain began to fall, just like the night their mother disappeared 25 years ago. But this time the rain felt different. Not ominous or scary, just rain, just water falling from the sky. Nothing more. They were safe now. They were together. They were whole. Not because nothing bad had ever happened to them, but because they survived the bad things. They walked through fire and came out the other side. Maya looked around the room at her family, her mother who never gave up, her father who found the courage to change, her sister who turned pain into art, her wife who loved her through the hard days. This was what mattered, this moment, this love, this choice to keep showing up for each other. The Harrison family was proof that broken things could heal, that lost things could be found, that love was stronger than hate, that truth was more powerful than lies, that courage could live in the heart of a 10-year-old girl who refused to give up hope. Their story was not perfect. It was messy and painful and hard, but it was real. And real stories, honest stories, stories that show the darkness and the light, those are the stories that matter most. Those are the stories that help people survive their own darkness, that give them permission to hope, that remind them they are not alone, and that was the greatest gift of all. If you enjoyed today's video, I'm sure you'll love the next one. Don't waste time. Just click on the screen